Hello and welcome to PMCLounge.com. In this video, we are going to talk about the control schedule process. So let's get started. So where are we in terms of the PMP courseware? Control schedule process, it is a part of the monitoring and controlling process group, and it is the last process in the schedule management knowledge area. In fact, let me show you from the PGKA mapping perspective where we are. So this is the PGKA mapping, and we are only focusing on the project schedule management knowledge area. This is the knowledge area we are talking about, and this is the process group we are talking about, the monitoring and controlling process group. This is where control schedule process lies, and these are other planning processes, the processes of the planning process group, which we have already discussed, right? So second link in the description will be the entire playlist of all the videos that we have done on schedule management knowledge area. And third link will be the frequently asked questions that I received as part of this knowledge area. Also note that the first link in the description is going to take you to our website pmclounge.com and the relevant article for this process. So if you would rather read an article about the control schedule process, first link in the description is your way to go. Now, from the entire PGKA mapping perspective, right? So we just saw project schedule management. We just saw this part of the PGKA mapping, right? So this is where we are. This is where control schedule lies, right? We have covered everything that there is to know about project schedule management. And before that, we have covered everything that there is to know about project scope management and project integration management. In fact, the playlist for these two knowledge areas will also be available in the description. So check them out if you want to start over and study from integration management, all these processes in detail, their tools and techniques, everything that is discussed. If you want to brush up your scope management concepts, then of course the entire playlist is going to cover all these activities, all these processes, as well as everything that you need to know about scope management knowledge area. So today we conclude our study on project schedule management as part of this video, and then we move on to the rest of these knowledge areas. Okay, let's move on. Okay, before we move on, a quick reminder, head over to pmclounge.com/resources if you're looking for PMP book recommendations. All right, so in this video, we will be doing an overview of the control schedule process. And in this overview, it is important to look at the three important aspects of this process. The first one is pretty simple. It is just to understand that you as a project manager, whatever that you're supposed to do in this process is pretty similar to what you would do in any other processes under the monitoring and controlling process group. And that is you basically measure where you stand currently versus where you were supposed to stand, right? So your current schedule progress versus the baseline schedule. So that is what you're going to measure. That is the first and the most important part of the control schedule process. All right, the second thing is influencing here. This is also a very important aspect of control schedule, and more precisely influencing the factors that may cause a change in the project schedule. So for this to be able to determine what the factors are that may cause a change in your project schedule, you have to have foresight, and that is something all project managers should possess. So you can see that there is a factor that may happen or that may take place in the future which is going to impact the project schedule. Based on that, you can use the power of influencing. You can see as a project manager how much influence do you possess on that factor just to make sure that it doesn't impact your project schedule. And finally, you have to manage schedule changes. And how do you do so is by keeping all the schedule related documents up to date. Now, on large projects, right, on large 3 year, 4 year long projects, you cannot, as a project manager, do this alone. And that is why you have a team of project managers, junior project managers, right? And in some cases, even a PMO that takes care of updating all these documents that are related to schedule. So you don't manage changes as such, because this is something which is part of a different process altogether. In the integration management knowledge area, the integrated change control process, I'll share a link to this video in the description below if you're interested. But yes, from changes perspective, in the control schedule process, you make sure that all the schedule related documents are up to date. And we also discussed previously about how work performance data gets converted to work performance information. There's a separate video on this. I'll share a link to that in the description below, where we talk about the difference between work performance data, work performance information, and work performance report. This conversion of work performance data into work performance information takes place in the control schedule process. And how does that happen? Basically, your work performance data is just routine performance measurements, right? The routine information which you will measure as part of this process. Now, when you have this information, and this could be very very simple information, like you are lagging in your schedule, right? So when you do an analysis of this information, right, you are measuring as part of this process, and then you analyze this. When you're analyzing and you're through the control schedule process, the work performance data has been evaluated, right? This has been analyzed and evaluated. And once it is analyzed and evaluated, it turns into work performance information. So that's the change. That is how WPD becomes WPI as part of the control schedule process. So that is all that we had in this video. Do hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to check out the website pmclounge.com, your number one free PMP resource. Thank you.